going on, you guys? It's your man James, aka JP, back again with the toy room, and finally, we are finally doing the room tour. This is very, very long overdue, but I finally got some time, and the room is actually like pretty much done at the moment. I don't have any new pickups that I need to set up at the moment or anything like that. So the room is like as good as it's gonna get for right now, and we have a lot of things to go through because I have quite a bit of stuff that has changed, and then some other stuff that really hasn't changed, like these Back to the Future shelves pretty much never change. So all the stuff that never changes or anything like that, I'm definitely just going to breeze by it, not go like super in-depth detail with it because it's repetitive from all my other room tours. And then obviously all the new stuff, we'll take a longer, closer look at all that stuff. And I think that is it. I think that's everything out the way. So without further ado, let's get into the toy room tour. What month are we in? For December 2023, and that actually works out that we're doing it now because it's the end of the year. Christmas is only a few weeks away. Man, that's crazy. Anyways, all right, let's go ahead and jump right into it. All right, you guys, so as always, we're going to start here at the entrance of the room, and I'm going to turn on my external lighting. There we go. Because this side of the room does kind of have some bad lighting because of the way that the bulbs are facing. Anyways, let's go ahead and get right into it. So starting out right here, nothing new here. We have my hoverboard wooden piece right here. The only thing that's new in this section is going to be this Pillsbury clock. This is awesome. So I found this at a thrift store, and this was only a couple dollars, and this thing is just awesome. It was so quirky and unique, and I just had to have it. So there we go, a Pillsbury clock. So that's awesome. It doesn't work. I changed the batteries and everything, but it still doesn't work. So it's just stuck on this time, but either way, still looks really, really awesome. Then moving up from there, we have my Avatar frame, my Spider-Man comic frame, this poster from Link's Awakening, this bib from Toys R Us, made by Play School. This is I'm a Toys R Us kid. The American Dream, this was the only Toys R Us in existence, but they just opened another one in Mall of America, if I'm not mistaken, in Minneapolis, somewhere around there, Minnesota, something like that. But this is from American Dream in New Jersey. And then we have my Kingdom Hearts 3 poster right there, and of course a chair and stool just for when I am rearranging the room and everything, I can have that easily accessible. Obviously we have the LEDs coming behind here, and it goes all the way through, all the way to the other side. And then coming up here is my Fast and the Furious collection of die-cast cars, as well as a few other little things here and there, but nothing has changed here. So you guys have all seen these cars before, but here's a quick glance at them. I did add the Lego minifigure of Paul Walker, if the camera will focus on him. There we go. And then just some other random cars from the series, as well as the Turtle Party Wagon, and then some other big things that don't fit anywhere else that I just put up here, as well as a couple posters and whatnot, but nothing new up here except for this Hot Wheels DeLorean set, which is just awesome. So it has the original DeLorean along with the brand new Alpha 5 DeLorean, which is still not officially released yet, but still, that's really the only good like display place that I could kind of fine because of the shape of the box. So for now, it's just going to sit right up there. I wish I could have put it with my DeLorean and Back to the Future shelf, but unfortunately it just didn't work. And we also have the Back to the Future newspaper, the USA Today, right there. So that is pretty cool, and the hoverboard. And then moving down, like I said, none of these shelves have ever changed, and like ever, pretty much since I set them up, at least with Back to the Future. So just a quick breeze through if you guys are new here. Here is what the shelf looks like, but if you guys are returning subscribers or viewers, then all of this looks pretty much familiar to you guys, but I'll just pan through that really quickly and kind of see back there, and then back there as well. And then same thing with this DeLorean shelf, it's all exactly the same. So just a quick breeze through all of this for you guys. There you go. And this little TV here, the batteries are dead on it, but it actually does play scenes from Back to the Future, which is absolutely just crazy. One of the coolest pickups, excuse me, I can't even talk. One of the coolest pickups that I've ever picked up. That's such an awesome little toy right there. And then coming down here, this is my Toys R Us shelf. Now, I want to say this is different from the last video, because in the last video I had Toys R Us and Target combined, but I just had so much Target and Toys R Us merch that I ended up making individual shelves for all of them. So here we go. I'll just go through all the Toys R Us stuff that I have, since this shelf, I believe, is new for you guys. So here we go. It's been this way a little while for me, but I don't think I've actually shown it off on video yet. So we have all these different pins from Toys R Us back in the day, and this is from when I worked at Toys R Us. We got this little 65th happy birthday anniversary pin, and then we have this truck here, and then a bunch of newer Jeffrey the Giraffe stuff. So this is fairly new. I picked that up a few months ago. And then we have this watch that I actually found. This is a OG watch. I don't know what year it's from. It's easily early 2000s. I found that in my closet. And then we have some plushes here. We have the new ornament for this year that I just decided to put here instead of putting on display on my Christmas tree. And then we have a few other little things here and there. The brand new Funko Pop for this year. That's the holiday pop, even though it's not really like holiday themed, but it did come out for the holidays this year. I did buy a pack of graham crackers just to put, I don't know why, it's just something, I saw this in store and there's something so nostalgic about this particular box of graham crackers, so I felt like it worked really well with the Toys R Us shelf. And then here is the Christmas Jeffrey the Giraffe, as well as the Toys R Us board game back there, and I think that's it. And then moving down to the Target shelf, it's pretty much all the same with the exception of a couple new Funko Pops. The brand new Disney Mickey Ears Bullseye with the Disney 100 logo. And then I believe I had this one last time, Bullseye dressed as John Hammond. Maybe not during my last room tour, but I definitely have had that for a few months now. Everything else is pretty much the same. You got Target Monopoly back there. And then these bottom shelves, nothing has changed here, but this is basically like my 80s shelf. So you got a bunch of Ghostbusters, Rocky, RoboCop, Terminator, Indiana Jones VHSs back there. But nothing new here, so just a quick glance at that. And then you do have Mr. T WWE appearance. And then if we come down here, it's kind of continued on with 80s with the Gremlins, and then a bunch of other random NECA figures. I used to be really big into collecting NECA back in the day, so these are just some of my leftover figures here. And then moving back over here, nothing has changed with the Avatar shelf, but this still remains. These two shelves here, probably some of my favorite shelves in my collection, and I'm very excited because I'm going to be expanding these shelves now that there are a lot more Avatar Funko Pops coming out. So I actually think I'm going to get rid of this shelf. Unfortunately, I was really big into collecting all the Avatar action figures from all the different lines, from Diamond Select and BST AXN and Loyal Subjects and everybody else, but it got to the point where they just kept releasing the same figures. I have like 8 different versions of Aang and like 4 or 5 different Kataras, a couple Sokkas, a couple Tophs, like 5 or 6 Zukos. So I'm at the point now where like I'm pretty much done with these style of action figures from Avatar. I'll probably keep a few of them. Like definitely need to keep that Appa, definitely need to keep the Rhino over here, and maybe a handful of them there. But I don't want them on display anymore just because it's very repetitive. But we have all of these new Avatar Funko Pop. So here's a brand new Kyoshi Funko Pop here that I still need to open and review, as well as we have King Boomy over here, and I have a bunch more on pre-order. I'm just waiting for them all to come in. That's all that I have right now. I'm waiting for them all to come in so I can do a video on them and then obviously set up the shelf. I don't want to start setting it up until it's ready because then it's going to look incomplete. But yeah, this shelf by the next room tour is definitely going to go. If you guys want to see a follow-up video of me tearing this shelf down and, you know, creating a new display with the Avatar Funko Pops, let me know. But yeah, these are all the same. Nothing has changed here, so just a quick glance at it. So there you go. That is shelf number 1, and that is shelf number 2, and then shelf number 3. This will probably be the last time you guys see the shelf, but there it is. And moving down to my Star Wars shelves, nothing has changed here. So all of my different Stormtroopers and Clone Troopers, I used to have a lot more, but unfortunately I don't have all of them. But since you guys have seen this shelf, these are all the ones that I have. Nothing has changed here. And a handful of droids back there. And then back to these shelves, nothing has changed either. Nothing has changed on any of these Black Series shelves, and it's not going to, including the fact that these guys are still falling over for I don't know how long. But I'm just done collecting Black Series, so this is where I'm at. These shelves are never going to change unless I decide to get rid of them, which I don't think I would ever get rid of these shelves. Honestly, I love Star Wars way too much. I'm just over collecting Black Series. It just got to be too much over the years. But there you go. There are my Black Series shelves. And then coming up to my Turtle shelf, I don't think anything has changed here other than maybe adding the Secret of the Ooze Turtles. And I do have the Turtles from the 3rd movie that I do need to add on here. They are sitting on the floor over there just because I haven't had time to actually open them and move things around and set them up and inevitably have everybody fall over. I'm just not ready for that headache right now. But here are all of my Turtles figures, just all the different variations that I have, from the comics to the original cartoon to the live action movies. And you can see the live action movie poking out back there, as well as this Turtles board game that I found in the thrift store. and obviously a Funko Pop up there as well. And then that comes down to my villain shelf. So I have 2 shelves of villains because NECA just was going absolutely nuts to the point where I had to tap out with NECA Turtles too, because they were just releasing way too much stuff and it was becoming pricey and also roomy. Like, if all I collected was NECA Turtles, it would be great, but I collect so much other stuff that I just could not keep up with the NECA Turtle stuff, especially like trying to keep finding space, and I would have had to like destroy another shelf to fit the rest of the stuff here. So I am officially tapped out with NECA Turtles. I still pick up pretty much any of the movie stuff because I love the movie figures and we just don't have enough of them. But with the cartoon stuff, I'm pretty much done unless they release like something really awesome that I just can't live without. But at this point, I'm done. But here's a mix of all of the villains from obviously the cartoons, the comics, and the movies. And then coming down to this shelf as well. Nothing's changed, but just a quick breeze through all of this for you guys. So, there you go. And then moving down to my 2 Nintendo shelves, nothing has changed here. So just a quick breeze through of this. So all of the World of Nintendo figures that I've collected over the years. And then that's Mario up here, and then this is all just other characters here. I consider this like my Super Smash Bros. Shelf. That's why I have that Smash poster there, as well as some Kingdom Hearts characters, since they are technically canon to Smash now. So there you go. And then down here, I think this shelf has changed a little bit. So I made 2 fast food shelves. So this one is pretty much Burger King, and then in this corner, which we'll get to in a second, that one's McDonald's. So these are all my different like Burger King Happy Meal, or not Happy Meal, but just the Burger King meal, whatever it's called, figures, as well as some other random little figures throughout the years, as well as this like 90s throwback Bud Light, Toxic Waste, so just some other retro stuff from the 90s, these Taco Bell Batman cups, and then the Spider-Verse crown and cup right there. And then, like I said, we'll get back to that McDonald's shelf in a second. Over here, I have my Samsung GX CRT TV that I still have just sitting here because I don't really know what to do with it at the moment, but I'm never going to get rid of it because it's such an awesome TV that folds out with speakers, and it's got a subwoofer built into the back. So this is a TV that I'm never going to get rid of. Just for gaming purposes, it is a really small TV, so I prefer to have a bigger display, as you guys will see here in a second. But this is just such an awesome TV. I just don't have a spot for it now, so it's just going to keep sitting on the floor until I figure that out. Then moving over to my Power Rangers shelf, here you are, and if you guys hear that, you know, whining high-pitched noise in the background, that's the CRT over here, so you just have to bear with me. But here's my Power Rangers shelf. Nothing has changed except for one thing, but I'll get to that in a second. I'll just breeze through this really quickly. So this is my Mighty Morphin shelf right here, and like I say every time, I have the White Ranger here because I never picked up the Green Ranger SH Figure Arts, so that's why he doesn't match there. But anyways, moving on. There we go. So the only new thing that I have here is this little like knockoff Lego Mega Bloks type of thing that I got at Five Below of the Green Ranger on the motorcycle. So this was really cool. Just a really cheaply made thing, but for $5, couldn't go wrong with that. And they had all of the male Rangers. So they had green, red, black, and blue, and you can get all of them at Five Below. And coming down to the movie shelf, here you go. So here is the Power Rangers movie shelf with all the different movie costumes, versions of the figures, as well as the actual movie, the VHS back there, the movie Morpher, Ooze, and yeah, nothing has changed here. And then down to my Red Ranger shelf, nothing has changed over here other than maybe the fact that I threw this oh man, I forgot what series this was. Megaforce, if I'm not mistaken. This is actually a flash drive that I got like back in the day for free at Toys R Us. But that's probably the only thing that I added. I also added this. I didn't add this recently, but I have this custom figure of myself, if we can focus. So anyways, yeah, that's the Hasbro like create your own figure, and the camera's having a hard time focusing on them. But anyways, that's a custom figure of myself. And then coming down here, we got more Power Ranger stuff, and nothing has changed here. So just breeze through that really quickly. These are all of my other Rangers that are not Red Rangers right there. And we're going to move down to the McDonald's shelf, and I'll just move the Samsung GX out of the way. And this bag fell over. I need to pick that up. Anyways, yeah, just a bunch of random McDonald's Happy Meal boxes and toys and promo items. And the new Funko Pop right there, the Halloween bucket. So this shelf needs a little bit more work. I'm just waiting to pick up a few more McDonald's, you know, action figures, Happy Meal, promo item type stuff. Moving back over this way, nothing's changed here, but we got some bigger vehicles here from the Black Series, as well as all of my Megazords here. So you have Titanus, and then all the other Megazords. Nothing's changed over here, so just breeze through that really quickly. I did get rid of my Legacy Black and Gold Megazord and opted to just keep the OG because, you know, why not? And I still have the Black and Gold Dragon Zord. I'm debating getting rid of that one, but I'm keeping it for now. But I definitely didn't need 2 Black and Gold Megazords, and if I was going to keep one, I'd rather keep the OG because I just love it, and the Black and Gold Legacy one was actually worth quite a bit of money, so I ended up selling that. And then some other random Megazords over here, as well as some Funko Pops right here. And this is the brand new Target exclusive. And let me get you guys a close-up as I just drop it. Let me get you guys a close-up of them right here. This is the brand new Target exclusive Tyrannosaurus Rex Dinozord Funko Pop. And this thing is just amazing. I can't wait till, hopefully, they make all the other Zords. But yeah, this thing is awesome. The paint on here, that gunmetal paint is just amazing. So really, really great detail on there. There's a quick look / review right there live in the room tour. We'll just put this guy back right over here like so, and we'll fix that bottom shelf later. Red Ranger helmet down here. And then moving over to this section over here, we have NFL Blitz marquee from my Arcade1Up NFL Blitz cabinet. This is the original marquee that came on the cabinet, but I actually swapped it with an aftermarket one because that one was just very faded and washed out, and this aftermarket one is just so nice and crispy and clean, and just looks 1,000 times better. But I decided to just keep my other one and put it there because it matched my Captain America poster that I found at the thrift store. So you know what, why not? And then we have this Doctor Strange Blacklight poster, as well as my NFL Street football and my Pixar Adidas basketball inside of a basketball trash can with my Xbox Series X fridge, mini fridge right over there. And then this is pretty much all the same old stuff. All my Pixar Cars figures here. So we have those right there. And then I actually, you guys will notice, I actually switched the CRT that I had here. I had a much bigger CRT TV, but the colors on it were kind of faded and kind of washed out, and it just wasn't that bright of a display. So I actually found this TV that somebody was throwing away in my neighborhood that I got for free, and it is an Advent CRT. And I got that. It is a little bit smaller, and it kind of works out because the other TV was blocking the shelf before, but now you can actually see the shelf again. So I just put some of my Lego Fiats over here, as well as my Lego Vespa that kind of matches with the Fiat, and then the 500 Abarth remote control car right there. And then my Oculus Quest, the original Oculus Quest on here, and I have this. Wow, I am just dropping everything. Yeah, let me fix that all real quick. Okay, so we're back. As I was saying, I have this Darth Maul CD case that has a bunch of loose CDs. Why aren't we focusing? Come on, camera. Come on. There we go. So this Darth Maul CD holder that has a bunch of loose CDs that are mainly PS1 games, but a couple other stuff as well as like some albums and whatnot. And then this is obviously the brand new CRT that I have right here. And what's really great about this one is that it has S-Video on it. Let me just turn the external light off. So the video on here just looks absolutely stunning. It's bright, it's vibrant, it's nice and clear. The camera's probably having a hard time picking it up, and it's not going to do it justice. But when I tell you that this CRT just looks stunning, that was such a good upgrade that I got. Turn the external light back on. Empty Crystal Pepsi right over here. This Game Boy glass right over here. And then this thing is really cool. I don't know if I had this in my last video, but this is a Nickelodeon gas, and that stands for Games and Sports for Kids. This is meant to look like, you know, a dumbbell right here, but I can't do it because it needs 2 hands. But you can actually twist this top off, and it becomes a water bottle. So I thought that was just so cool. I found this in the thrift for like $1, and I didn't even know it was a water bottle when I bought it. I literally just thought it was like a fake, you know, dumbbell type of thing, but I bought it because of that logo. And then when I got home, I found out that you can actually twist the cap off and it doubles as a water bottle. So that is really cool. I don't really have a good place to display it, so it just sits in that cup right now. Then moving down over here, I thought I fixed everything, but let me straighten that out. There we go. These are all of, or not all of, but a majority of my handhelds. So you have some Game Boys, Game Boy Advance, SPs, Switch Lite. You have a 3DS, Super Nintendo Edition right under that. PSP that just fell over. A couple other PSPs, different versions of it. iPod Touch, Motorola Razr, iPod Nano, Game & Watches, DS lights, just a whole slew of stuff, Superboy right here. And then that brings us down to VCR, as well as original Sega Genesis, original Xbox 360s, white and black version, this random TV right here that I found at the thrift, Atari 2600, PS2 with a newly acquired PS2 Slim, and I did not know that PS2 Slims were going for this much money. So I found this one at the thrift, and it's in okay shape, but it's seen better days. I found it for $25. I was going to leave it behind. I checked on eBay, and can somebody tell me why in the world the PS2 Slim is going for like near $100? Like in this condition, probably like 75 bucks. So even though 25 was a little bit more than I wanted to spend on a PS2 Slim, compared to eBay prices, it was a steal, so I had to pick it up. And then also you can see my mess of wires back there that powers all of this stuff. That's all the wires for all this stuff, the TV, PS2, VCR, and all the other stuff there that I can play at a moment's notice. And moving on up here, we have my Jurassic Park shelf, which again, nothing has changed on here. So I'll just breeze through that really quickly for you guys without falling over, hopefully. So there is my Jurassic Park shelf. And then coming down, that's going to bring us to some of my Arcade1Up. So you have Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Original Street Fighter, and Final Fight. And I think since the last room tour, you guys haven't seen this setup. So I think Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was over here, but I have NFL Blitz over here now. I moved Pac-Man into another room and moved Marvel vs. Capcom 2 in Pac-Man's spot. And then right up here, we have... You see this? Ultra Street Fighter 2. This is an action figure that I have to open by Jada Toys, and that is the evil Ryu, or Ryu, however you want to pronounce it, from Ultra Street Fighter 2. So this is just something I need to put on display, but I'm holding off on that now because I need to find the rest of the Street Fighter figures first, and then I need to figure out what shelf I'm going to get rid of. Probably one of these to set up a whole Street Fighter display, which I'm looking forward to. Anyways, moving on from the Arcade1Ups, we'll take a quick pit stop over here. You guys can see all of my Game Boy games, as well as Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and 3DS and DS games right there. And then right over here, we have my JBL Pulse 3 speaker, which is my older version. And we have the JBL Pulse 5, which is just amazing. I picked this up on Black Friday, and the light effects on here, I used to think these light effects were amazing, and this was such an amazing speaker. And honestly, it still is. But when you have it side by side with this one, I mean, oh my god, this is no comparison. The full body is all a light show, where this one, maybe 3/4 of it is. And the way that they pulled off this illusion, you can see it's just like, I don't even know how to explain it. This thing is just really awesome. And then they lifted it on the bottom, so you have like a ring underneath that displays lights as well. Yeah, just such a great upgrade. I'm glad I actually pulled the trigger on that. I almost didn't, but this was such a great upgrade. Still love the Pulse 3, but the Pulse 5 is just leaps and bounds much better. Anyways, moving on, we have my Gran Turismo Hot Wheels right over there. And then my video game collection, which has grown quite a bit to the point where I had to start moving even more stuff over here. So I don't even know how many games I have at the moment. I can look it up for you guys real quick. Okay, so this is an app that I use called CLZ Games. This isn't sponsored or anything like that, but I've been using this app for years, and it's how I keep track of all the games that I have, because once you start to get to this many games, you forget what you have. So I have a total of 800 games and 59 hardware, so that's, you know, consoles, Arcade1Ups, handhelds, things like that. So I'm currently sitting at 800 games, and that is pretty current because I think I updated everything when I did that major Black Friday pickup. So 800 games, all between here, and scattered, you know, all throughout. So just, you know, quick breeze through this because this is all old to you guys if you've been here already. But here are some of my boxed figures and games. And then coming down over here, I mean, yeah, just a ton of stuff. So it goes in order from NES, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, GameCube, Wii, which, I mean, the Wii collection has just grown quite a bit. I mean, it's not like a ton of Wii games, but yeah, it's definitely grown quite a bit here and a little bit down here, as you can see. Just, I've been finding a lot of Wii games lately at the thrift store. And then we have DS, PS1, and then eventually gets into Switch, PSP, PS2, PS3, PS4, PS5, and then ignore this mess here. This is my pile of stuff that I need to give to my friends that I just haven't seen yet. And we're gonna do like a quick pan over here. We're gonna skip all of this for a second and continue on this way to the rest of the video games. So you have original Xbox, Xbox 360, Xbox One, and then PS5 that I needed to continue on from down there because I just ran out of space. We'll continue on over here in a second, but we're gonna bring it back right over here. And up here we have my Kobe Bryant jerseys, as well as a couple other like basketball items right here, and some basketball themed cereal boxes. And then here since it is, Christmas, I made a Christmas shelf. And I had a Halloween shelf that I didn't get to show off to you guys because I just didn't have time. I thought I was going to have a room tour done by the time that Halloween shelf was up, but it didn't happen. Anyways, here's the Christmas shelf. So I have a couple of my favorite Christmas VHS tapes right over here. And then this is the 2023 version of the Christmas Jeffrey the Giraffe plush. And then here we go with some Funko Pops. So obviously you have last year's Christmas Funko Pop. You have the FAO Schwartz Soldier, Santa Claus, of course, with his signature Coke, Mariah Carey, Queen of Christmas, and Taco Bell dog with a Santa hat. So yeah, there you go. Moving down here, we have my Blockbuster shelf, and yeah, I have quite a bit of Blockbuster merchandise. So everything from puzzles to literally my original membership card from when I was a child. This is actually like my dad's card, but it's a card that we used as a child, which is awesome. Funko Pop, a pen from Blockbuster, a Blockbuster scented candle that smells like popcorn, and then a bunch of Blockbuster video games, some actual Blockbuster cases. Did I say video games? I meant board games. Some more board games, some more board games, a letter from Blockbuster from ordering some of this stuff from the last Blockbuster in existence. As you can see that Blu-ray right over there. And then I believe this shelf is new to you guys if I'm not mistaken, but yeah, I acquired a collection of Taco Bell dogs from one of my friends. So I just had so many of them, I didn't know what to do with them, so I just made a whole shelf out of them. Obviously you can see there's one missing because that's the Christmas one that's right up there. And then bringing it down here, nothing new over here, but I did put the slipcover for that DeLorean 2-pack that I showed off earlier. I just put it here next to my Lego DeLorean. And then moving on over here, you guys should be familiar with this, but this is the Pixar shelf. And what happened over here? Why is this guy crooked? I don't know what was going on over there. But anyways, there is my Pixar shelf full of a bunch of the Pixar Alien Remix figures. This was one of my favorite lines to collect. It's just such a shame that they kind of killed that line off. And then just a bunch of other like Toy Story themed figures and whatnot. I'm not going to go through all of them in super detail. I think this Zurg is new. I got this massive Zurg figure at the thrift for like a couple dollars. But yeah, so there we go. And then I need to come up here and hoist you guys up here. This is my basketball shelf. Basketball / celebrity shelf, but it's a ton of Michael Jordan figures primarily, as you can see, and then some other basketball icons, and then some other movie icons, as well as famous people, as I almost just fell over. But yeah, there you go. So a lot of music artists over here. You got Biggie, Tupac, DMX, Aaliyah. So there you guys go. Just a quick glance at that. And then the biggest change I would say so far, you guys will see I have a ton more space over here, but give me a second. I need to swing over this way. So here is this Mario 8 like quilt or blanket or whatever you want to call it. I currently have it on top of my 2 recliners here because those recliners have seen better days. I do need to get new ones. The leather is starting to chip off of it quite badly, so I didn't want to show it off on camera. So there is my Mario Kart 8 themed blanket that I got at the thrift store. But anyways, coming back here, you guys remember, if you've seen my past tours, I used to have this long table. It was like a long rectangle that went from here all the way over here pretty much. Well, I accidentally, as you can see, I like to light candles, and I accidentally kind of knocked, after I turned the candle off, I knocked the candle over by accident and spilled candle wax all over that table. And no matter how much I cleaned it and what I scrubbed with, it just would not come off the table. Like the wax would come off, but you were left with like this film over it almost. I didn't know how to explain it. Anyways, the table was destroyed is all I'm trying to say. So I ended up taking the opportunity to change the table out, and I got this table from IKEA. And honestly, I just got it because it was the cheapest table that they had that wasn't anything that I had previously, and I really like the way it came out. So it's a circular glass table here, and it just opens up. Now that I don't have a table running, from here to there anymore, I just have so much more space. You can actually see my Aladdin magic carpet rug a lot better now. It's not as obscured as it was before. And I just love the way it is, because believe it or not, all this stuff that you're seeing on here, from up top with this Monopoly set, my controllers, my candles, and then down here to all these different magazines and reading materials, I had all of this on the other table, but you guys would never know because the way that table was set up, you guys couldn't see half of that stuff. So this is just a more open table. You have a glass top instead of a solid wooden top, so you can just see a lot more. I think it looks just way better. It just opens up the room more. Ironically, opens up the room more and displays more at the same time. So here's just a look at some reading material that I have down here, as well as some PlayStation coasters and a bunch of other stuff. And then obviously my Monopoly set, which I love that it's a glass Monopoly set, because even though I have it sitting on the table, you can still see through the Monopoly set and still see through the table to all the reading material behind it. So I just love the way that that came out. And now we'll bring it over here to the command center, which is another reason that I love this table so much, is because you guys can actually see all of my consoles now. Before they were blocked, it was a lot harder to see them, and now you can see all my consoles in their glory. So we'll breeze through this really quickly because I go over this all the time. But we have my NES, my Lego NES set, Super Nintendo, 2 GameCubes, 2 Wiis, a Wii Mini, original Xbox, Xbox 360, PS3, PS4 Pro, Spider-Man Edition, Mario Edition of the Switch, Xbox One Launch Day Edition, Xbox One X, and then all of my mini consoles right here that are all hacked and ready to go. So you got the PS1, NES, Super Nintendo, Genesis Model 1 and 2, and then of course my main console, PS5, with my Vizio surround sound system here, and my Sony 55-inch OLED TV right over here. And then a couple Funko Pops here, Microsoft, Halo, Xbox. And then over to my Pokemon shelf and some of my other video game shelves. I don't think any of this has changed. I don't know if they were in the last room tour or not, but just a quick breeze through all of them right here. So this is my Pokemon shelf with all the different Funko Pops. I'm still waiting for them to drop more so I can complete the whole 151, but instead of doing that, they just keep releasing the same like 3 over and over again in different variations. But there you go, and then some other stuff that I have back here. Man, my voice is starting to go. Forgive me, guys. But yeah, just Pokemon reading material. You have Pokemon board games, Pokemon CDs, albums, stationery sets, giant Pokemon cards. And then coming down over here, you have some more vintage Pokemon figures here from the 90s. And then my Lego NES, my Pikachu Nintendo 64, as well as a couple other Pokemon-themed consoles and handhelds right there. And then coming down, we have my Sega shelf, mainly just a Sonic shelf, but there you go, bunch of different Sega and Sonic material. And then coming down to my PlayStation shelf with a bunch of random Sony figures and consoles and other materials right over there. And then coming over to this shelf over here, I am running out of breath. Oh man. Coming to this shelf over here, or not shelf, but little display on the wall, just a bunch of random controllers that I have, as well as a Switch Lite, sealed Xbox controller, and just a bunch of other random controllers here. And we have all of my Space Jam pops, from the new Space Jam to the original Space Jam. And then we have, like I mentioned before, continuation of my video games, a couple of albums like CDs, and then my entire Hot Wheels collection that I've gone over countless times before. But there you guys go, all of my different Hot Wheels, and they're all color-coded into the order of the color of the rainbow, as you guys can see right over there. And then a continuation of some video games over here. And I did get rid of some Blu-rays. I'm starting to phase out, honestly, my Blu-rays and whatnot, because everything for me as far as watching movies is primarily streaming. So like, unless it's a movie I absolutely love and need and can't find it on streaming or something like that, I'm just going to end up getting rid of it because it's just taking up too much space. So as I collect more games over time, I'm probably slowly going to phase out movies to make way for the games, but we'll get there when we get there. And then coming back over this way, we have my Spider-Man blacklight poster right here, my Pac-Man light that, let me turn that off. Changes colors, kind of hard to see right now since all the lights are on, but there you go. And then, like I mentioned before, my NFL Blitz Arcade1Up cabinet. And then you may see a little bit of light poking out of that closet. We're going to get there in a second. But we'll come over here to the rest of my Funko Pops. These are mainly like superhero comic book characters, and then just a bunch of other random cartoons and Funko Pops. So there you go. And then we have my premium Hot Wheels wall right down here. And then this is this is probably one of my favorite parts of the room. So this was my storage closet, and it still is my storage closet, but it has changed a lot. So for the sake of time and whatnot, I don't have time to empty all this out to show you guys like what the whole closet looks like, but you guys can see it is completely revamped. So when I showed off this closet last time, it was just my hidden video game section, which it still is. You can see my Little Tyke CRT TV, my Pokemon VCR with Pokemon Snap on the Nintendo 64, and the VCR is also hooked up and ready to go too. All I got to do is switch the inputs right here. So I made this really cool hidden gaming setup where you can't see any of the wires, obviously, other than the controller right here and the inputs that are hiding right here, but you can't see like any of the power cables. I have everything. I'll show you guys real quick. So I have this one extension cord that's running from behind here, and then that comes into here and goes back here into this corner, and it has power strip here, and yeah, that's how I have everything running at once. But yeah, you can't see any of the wires. I love the way that this looks. It's a great use of space, and I can, you know, play a game on this TV while someone else plays a game on this TV, while a couple other people are playing over here, while somebody's playing over here. So it's all about function for me. So when I have friends over, which to be honest, like I don't have like a bunch of parties all at once, but when I have, you know, like a retro game night, somebody can be playing here, a couple people over there, one person over here, one person over here, somebody else over here. So I just love the flexibility that it gives me. But it's also my storage closet. So I have all of my different video game cables, wires, controllers, everything that I might need basically to run this room is all in these storage containers here. I have this tripod for YouTube when I do my live streams on my laptop, and then a bunch of other just random boxes of stuff. Like I said, this is a storage closet. So no, this is not the prettiest, but it doesn't always look like this. If I were to take all this stuff out right now, it would look much cleaner. But you guys may also notice I have a new shelf in here. So I got rid of the board game shelf, and I decided to move all the board games right up here. At one point in time, I used to be really big into playing board games, not so much now, so they didn't need to be front and center here like they were before. So I moved all the board games up here, and as you can see, I've amassed a lot of VHS tapes in the last couple years. So that's what I did, is made an entire VHS collection. So we have some of the regular like slipcover VHSs right here, and then that leads to up here as well. And then we have the clamshell style VHSs that are basically all here. Now, if you see like empty spaces, that's because it's like those that are on display over there and whatnot. But there is my VHS collection, which I think I have about 200 or so VHS tapes in my collection at the moment, which is, yeah, that's wild to me. But yeah, here we are, the secret gaming closet. And that is going to bring us to the end of the room, because now we're right back here where we started, the entrance. Alright you guys, so we are here, we did it, we came to the end of the room tour. I am exhausted, my voice is shot, but we finally did it. The room tour, the toy room tour for December 2023. Let me know what you guys think. This was a long time coming. A lot of stuff has changed in this room in the last 6 months or however long it's been since my last video. A lot of stuff moved around. We got a hidden gaming closet back here with some hidden VHS tapes, a brand new coffee table, some stuff moved around on shelves, a ton more video games in the collection, new TVs, CRT TVs, just a whole bunch of stuff moved around. I am so happy with the way this room has just turned out. Every time that I do these tours, the room just gets better and better and better in my personal opinion. And honestly, I'm just sad to say that I don't spend as much time, I can't even keep the camera straight, I don't spend as much time in here as I should be. Obviously with a newborn in my life, it is kind of hard, but I'm hoping, now that she's getting a little bit older now, she's 4 months, and she kind of settles down and gets a little bit older, it will be easier for me to spend more time in here. But anyways, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Also, shout out to my shirt, all my hip hop heads. You know, you already know what this collaboration is. I found this shirt at the thrift store. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get on out of here. So as always, guys, if you enjoyed the video, give it a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the notification bell, check out some of my other past room tours so you can see like the differences throughout the years, which is crazy. And I think that's gonna do it. I don't know, I'm starting to ramble on. So anyways, as always, guys, stay tuned for more, and I'll see you guys next time.